You are now tuned in to the 1718 Collective Virtual Museum. I am your host, Sosa. This is brought to you by S.STREET Media and the Pink Room at S.STREET Media. Today we have a special guest in the building with us, Haya Grind. New artist on the scene, but she's been doing art for a while. We're going to go through a few of her pieces, and we're going to get into a small conversation with her so you get to know her a little bit better. This is the first piece we actually have up. Tell us a little bit about this piece.
So this piece is actually on a wood panel. It's shaped like a upside down house. I picked this piece because it was a unique style and cut, and I thought it would be nice to use as like a door hanger. You could just strap a string to it, but basically this piece is about just me developing character design and using an element of nature to, bring out my ideas, pretty much. And the colors, I was working with colors. I just wanted to put emphasis on the green, mostly, and have the blue help boost that idea of nature in it.
Now, you use a lot of colors. Like sometimes people stick to the same shade. Like in this, I see you got like the golds, you got a shade of brown, you have the greens, the blues. Really like what you did with that piece. It's a unique shape. Is there any story behind that, or?
Actually, there is, because initially I wanted to get traditional canvases, but they didn't have any because a lot of people have been feeling very artistic recently, and it was a search to find something to paint on, and I came across this at Target of all places.
Nice.
And one thing led to another, and here we are.
Well, that's a heads up for y'all artists. Like I always say, there's a lot of different ways you can produce art. You can put art on anything, and that's definitely a prime example of it. It's not your traditional canvas, but it definitely came out to be a dope piece. The next piece we have here.
Okay, this one is called Garden Dweller. Basically, I was working on, as the other previous piece, it has an element of, nature in it, because I find that nature and humans, we have a connection. So I like to put that element in my pieces. So I was really focused on character development and, adding side characters to help fill up space, but also create a mood for the piece too. That's why I drew them like they're shocked or whatever, because it's just so beautiful.
No, it's cool. Like, I definitely see the energy with the characters compared to hers. It's like a different vibe. It's definitely. And I'm gonna zoom in so you can actually see some of the texture on the painting. How long does it normally take you to make a piece like that?
Honestly, I can't even say that I kept track of these pieces because I've done them so long ago. But normally I don't spend more than 4 hours on my paintings. That are smaller than 20 by 16 inch. Yeah.
Have you worked on bigger pieces?
I have, the largest piece I worked on was 16 by 24.
Yeah.
That took me maybe like 8 hours.
Tell us a little bit about the next piece we have here.
Okay, this piece is called Goblin. It's basically about how we have a darker side and a lighter side. But it's not to say that the lighter side isn't, the dark side isn't necessary, but you have to decide whether or not you're going to let your goblin or your inner darkness control you and consume you. And I add the hearts as an aesthetic for the background, so smooth it out.
And this is very detailed. Like if you see the drips, you put the different shades in there, very detailed. Sometimes some artists would just draw the color and draw lines over it, so definitely like the detail in the work.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Can you tell us about this piece right here on the flat panel?
So this piece started off with me just playing around with trying to get a nice textured background. I wanted something to be unique, because I wanted to help boost what I was going to put in the middle. So basically this piece is like a cyclops, because I wanted to put emphasis on the theory of the third eye and how, your consciousness and your higher self supposed to be brought down into your physical form to help you achieve the things that you want and find your true calling. But like the last piece, there's always that inner darkness that you have to control to help you get there, because you need that part to help you get there. You can't just kick it to the side.
I see you have a story behind a lot of your pieces, or there's more to the piece than just the visual. Do you normally get the story while you're painting, or the story comes after the painting?
The story comes usually while I'm painting. Because I try to use certain elements like the crown and then the tongue, because depending on the situation, I might not draw a tongue, but I might do the crown with a smile, or depending on the facial feature, it could convey a different message.
Let's go to the next piece that we have. Tell us a little bit about this piece.
Okay, this one is called Flames. I did this in 4 hours. It's basically about, of course, the target audience is females, and I wanted to represent how, like, women are givers of life, and even in a desolate world, you know, life can still be born through flames. And, you know, the queen, because she's the mother, and that's what she does. And tears bring life to deserts. So that was my idea before painting this. That's what I wanted to do. So I kind of came up with the idea before I painted it, and it helped me kind of get the vibe that I wanted to go for.
Very powerful, very, very powerful. We got a lot of good response from this. Last time we showed it in one of our shows, so today you actually get to meet the artist that's behind this. And it's my pleasure to bring her to you, so you actually get to meet some of the artists of the art that I've been showing in the virtual shows. This piece is a little lighter right here. This is the last piece for the virtual museum. Can you tell us about this piece?
Okay, so this piece is greatly influenced by, you know, I do love to dabble in 420 activities. You know, it does help me focus and concentrate, and it really does help with inspiring and increasing those creative juices. So this is that helped inspire that, and plus, of course, Bugs Bunny. And I was working on, again, some character development with my 2 little characters on the side, because I always like to have royalty represented in my pieces, because I feel it's important, because people should feel like royalty, because they are. And of course the girls. People are. But yeah, that's the main goal. And I was really focusing on trying to make it clean, because that usually is like an issue with me, because I do a lot of texture, so I didn't want this to have too much texture in it. I want it to be clean and nice and smooth. And black, mostly.
No, I definitely see the difference with that. Well, we definitely appreciate you being part of the virtual museum.
Thank you so much. I'm glad to be here. You can't see my smile, but it's like, phew.
So we'll get into a little bit about you. So,
Okay.
can you tell the people a little bit about how, like, when you started doing art, actually?
So the first time I actually started drawing anything, I was about 5 or 6. And my uncle used to watch anime, like Dragon Ball Z, One Piece, what else? He used to watch Yu Yu Hakusho. Oh my god, that was my show. Like, what? I could tell him nothing. Yeah, but I started drawing from anime, and my mom was really good at coloring books. She could make animals look like they have real fur with crayons.
Oh, wow.
She was very good. So that just pushed me into the direction of, you know, trying. But I wanted to get out of the habit of drawing other people's art, because I want to make mine unique and distinct. I don't want to replicate things that are already here. Because as artists, we're supposed to create new things, new ideas, and themes. So that's what I focus on.
You're absolutely right. I totally agree with you. And you've been starting at a young age doing art. You have a family of artists that's behind you. What started making you take art more seriously?
I started taking art more seriously after realizing that the reason why I went to college wasn't because, like, I really wanted to, or that was my passion. I just went because I thought that was what I was supposed to do, but my passion has always been art. And I have realized that if I'm not doing art, I'm not going to be happy. So my first priority in my life is to make myself happy. So I'm going to do what makes me happy. I'm not going to pursue materialistic things that are not going to satisfy my soul, because those things can leave. My soul is eternal, so the more I focus on that, the better off I'll be. So that's my main focus.
So since you've been doing art, like, have you felt the difference in your energy and your vibe now that you're doing what you love?
Oh yeah, yes. I'm very, I'm not so dissatisfied with my life anymore, because I do something on a daily without having to be forced to do it. And even though I'm currently not receiving as much income, I still continue to do it because it makes me happy.
Well, now with you doing art now, I know that you've been commissioned for a couple of different projects. What type of stuff are you commissioned for? Because I have a lot of viewers that basically sometimes they hit me up for artists and they want certain talent, so I want them to know some of your skills.
Okay, so some of my skills include traditional pieces on stretch canvases, wood canvases. I've actually done a couple of commissions for tattoo designs. I can do them sketch, I can do line work with inks. I can do charcoal, pastels. I actually do 3D canvas pieces. So if I used to do, when I was 19, I used to sell like house, like, I don't know how to explain it, but I used to incorporate 3D items like flowers, materials, and put them on canvases so they would be like centerpieces for dining rooms and homes for people who had spaces with walls with nothing on it. So I used to, sell that for like $20 here, $30 there, So I do those. I do digital artwork. I will be having some of those pieces in here, and you're gonna love them. Oh my God, they're amazing. What else? I actually have a friend who has a tattoo of my artwork on his arm. It was crazy. He was like, I'm gonna get it tatted. I didn't believe him, and then he came from LA and put it on his arm. It was crazy. Oh my gosh.
So how does that make you feel that somebody's willing to put your art on their body and that's like something that's forever?
I felt like Picasso. It's like, this is what it means when like you get up there. I know like I'm not up there, but for someone to have my art on their body, like it's gonna be there forever unless they get it laser removed, which I highly